marriage. Umar was widowed by the death of Hunayn ibn, one of the companions of the Messenger of Allah, who died in Medina. I came to Uthman and offered him Hafsa. He said, I will look into the matter. After some nights he came to him and said, I decided that I will not get married during these days. I then met Abu Bakr and said, if you wish, I will marry you to Hafsa bint Umar. Abu Bakr remained silent and did not respond at all. I was more upset with him than I was with Uthman. After some nights, the Messenger of Allah proposed to her, and I married her off to him. Abu Bakr then met me. Perhaps you were upset with me when you offered Hafsa to me, and I did not respond at all. Umar said, yes, indeed. Abu Bakr then said, nothing prevented me from responding to what you offered me, except that I knew that the Messenger of Allah had mentioned her. I, though, was not about to spread the Messenger of Allah's secret. If the Messenger of Allah did not marry her, I would have done so. Looking at the proposed spouse, if someone is considering proposing to a woman, it is sanctioned for him to look at her before he proposes to her. Muhammad ibn Muslama said, I proposed to a woman, so I started to conceal myself from her until I saw her in her date palms. It was said to him, you do that while you are a companion of the Messenger of Allah. He replied, I heard the Messenger of Allah say, if Allah puts into the heart of a man the idea of proposing to a woman, there is no harm if he takes a look at her. I came to the Prophet and mentioned to him a woman that I had proposed to. He said, go and look at her, as this is more likely to produce affection between the two of you. Proposal. The proposal is proposal for marriage given to a woman through the means that are well known among the people. If the other party agrees, this is simply a promise to marry and nothing else. The fiance and fiancée have no further special relation, and they are still considered as not related to each other until they finally do wed. It does not permissible for a Muslim to make a marriage proposal against that of his brother. The, the Prophet forbade selling against one another and making a marriage proposal against one's brother's proposal until he gives up that proposal or gives the proposer permission to do so. It is not permissible to propose to a woman who is experiencing a revocable divorce. It is also not allowed to make an explicit statement of proposal to a woman who is experiencing an irrevocable divorce or is in her waiting period after become widowed. However, in these two latter cases, one may make an indirect statement alluding to a proposal. Allah has said, and there is no sin on you if you make a hint of betrothal or conceal it in yourself. Allah knows that you will remember them, but do not make a promise of contract with them in secret, except that you speak an honorable saying. The marriage contract. There are two essential components to the marriage contract to offer. The the offer and the acceptance. In addition, there are some conditions that must be met in order for the contract to be sound. These are the following: the permission of the guardian. I should narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, if any woman marries without the permission of her guardian, then her marriage is void. Then her marriage is void. Then her marriage is void. If he has intercourse with her, then she is deserving of the dower that makes her permissible for him. If there is a dispute, then the ruler is the guardian of one who does not have a guardian. The presence of witnesses that the Messenger of Allah said, there is no marriage except with a guardian and two reputable witnesses. The obligation of getting the woman's approval before the marriage, although there is no marriage without a guardian, it is obligatory upon the guardian to obtain the woman's approval before the marriage. It is not allowed for him to compel the woman to marry if she is not pleased with it. If he concludes a marriage contract that she is not pleased, she has the right to annul the contract. Abu Huraira narrated that the Prophet said, a non-virgin is not to be married until she requests it, and the virgin is not to be married without her consent. They said, how is the consent to be known? He said, if she remains silent. Said that her father had married her while she was a non-virgin, and she disapproved of the marriage. She went to the Prophet, and he annulled her marriage. Narrated that a virgin young lady came to the Prophet and mentioned to him that her father had married her off while she disliked it. The Prophet then gave her the option to annul the marriage or remain in the marriage. The speech for the wedding ceremony. It is recommended that there be a speech. When the contract is made, this speech is known as Khutbah al-Hajjah, and its wording is the following.